You know what just dawned on me after watching this episode of Rurumo? Rurumo is over 300 years old. And she's having some form of romance feelings towards our main male character, Shibaki. She's 300 years old. Think about this for a second. Shibaki's about 16 or 15. Yeah. So, it just dawned on me. I mean, I knew she was old. I did. I remember the first episode when it was told like she was locked away. But it completely just faded from my mind. But with this episode, it was brought up again, and I'm like, oh shit, she is that old, isn't she? It's really weird if you think about that, okay? Just, you know, with the romance and stuff. So anyways, okay? The episode, it really has two major segments to it. It's pretty basic, and honestly, there's a lot of fan service as usual in this series. You have the first half that's about cosplaying, and you get to see, you know, a lot of cosplay type, you know, fan service. And then the second half is Rurumo trying to find a new chess piece or bra, whatever you want to call it. And she searches around trying to find the perfect chess piece. So, first things first, I want to talk about the first part, okay? The first part, pretty much, you have that student council girl that's kind of stuck up, and she's like a closet otaku. Now, I can really relate to her character, but I feel like she was being really melodramatic. In that one part to when she finds out that, you know, everybody now knows that she likes cosplaying in the classroom, she, like, runs away, gets embarrassed, which I understand why she's embarrassed. I understand that completely. But when she runs away and all that, when it seems like they're, you know, they're not trying to be mean to her, they're not calling her gross or nothing, they actually looked like they were interested in her cosplay, it did not look like, you know, a conversation was going to make fun of her. That's what the vibes I was getting from the conversation with Shibaki in that part of this episode. And so, I feel like, you know, the girl overreacted way too much. It was melodramatic, and she eventually said in her mind, like, oh, me and Rurumo are no longer friends and stuff. I understand, like I said, I understand why she was embarrassed. But it was understandable from that situation, the way the conversation was going, and I'm an outsider viewer perspective, that it wasn't going to be bad. You know, they were probably going to accept her, because you saw, you know, Shibaki and his friends, you know, looking like they were fine. Also, you saw the girls behind him look like they were fine with it, too. But I understand the plight. But I will tell you this, it was interesting getting to see the Miko type reference in this episode. Now, specifically the girl that you had the girl cosplaying as was called Miko. But it was obvious the cosplay was referencing Miku. It was obvious. The way you had those little bends, the beads in the hair color, the style of the outfit, it was obvious it was referencing Miku. And if you don't know who Miku is, go look up her song. She's definitely a beautiful singer. But anyways, pretty much, it was obvious that it was Miku reference, and I loved the entire little bit of Rurumo cosplaying. That was a really adorable scene, and I enjoy when you get to see them singing together and you see both of them look like twins. That was a cool moment. For the most part, the first half was okay. It was character development for that side character, and that's really all it was meant for, honestly. And you got to see Rurumo open up as a character and, you know, try to make more friends. Now, this leads into the second half of the episode. Now, the second half of the episode kind of annoyed me a little bit, okay? Yeah, it's pretty obvious why. I'm not going to even get into the reasons why it annoyed me. It's pretty obvious by now why it annoyed me. The fan service. It was just, there's so much fan service going on in the second half. Like, the opie, the breasts, all that. It's kind of obvious there would be so much fan service when it's focused on trying to find Rurumo a new bra. It was pretty much on that topic of majority of cliche anime or cliche fan service gets into flat-chested girls, pretty much. That's exactly the conversation we're led into in this episode. We got to see the big, busty freaking E or D cup-type girl, and then you saw Rurumo, our main female character, getting jealous and so forth. Pretty much the standard cliche we have seen about 50 times already from multiple different anime. So nothing new in that entire regard. But one thing that you can take from this episode that actually was character development was Rurumo getting embarrassed about her bra technically being off. That shows emotions in Rurumo's character. For instance, Rurumo as a character really doesn't have much emotions. Last episode alone demonstrated that she barely has any emotions at all when she talks. And so in this episode, we get to see her different personality. She actually opens up to Shibaki, and you see how she's getting embarrassed because she is vulnerable. She doesn't have her bra on. And so that's like, I guess, character development you could take in that entire standpoint. Overall, the episode is okay. It's nothing groundbreaking, it's nothing amazing, it's nothing that I would say you should go out of your way to watch over any other anime, like great anime of the season, like Oda Noah, Tokyo Ghoul, or Zankyo no Terror, stuff like that. I wouldn't say to watch Magimoji or Majimoji, whatever it's called, in, first. But, it's a good series. I enjoyed the episode. If I had to rate the episode personally, from enjoyment value factored into it, I would say 6.5 out of 10. It's not the best. Okay? Well, a majority of the stuff we saw in this episode is pretty much cliche. We've seen it over and over. The only thing you could really say that was a cliche was the cosplaying. So anyways, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.